Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that there is a way that you could potentially become your own bank? You wouldn't have to depend on going to a bank and getting approved for any kind of loan. All you have to do is make one phone call, boom, your money's on the way. Sounds easy, sounds too good to be true, but it's actually a thing. But before I get into describing it a little bit more, I want to thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Talk to Me Tuesday. Did you know this was one of the hottest videos that you could get your hands on about this kind of topic? Well, it is. But yeah, just to get into it, of course, I would love for you all to please give this video a like, a share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, whatever it is that you got to do to help me get these videos on the algorithms on the internet. That way, when people are trying to find videos like this, one of mine can be one that is found on the topic. So, to go back, of course, there is a way for you to become your own banker. Now, it's going to require that you have a little bit of patience, and it's going to also require that you have just a little bit of residual income. We're not trying to bankrupt you here. We're not trying to do anything weird, but this will also require that you also have either a whole life insurance policy or an index universal life insurance policy or universal life insurance policy. Just one that accrues cash value. So you become your own banker by, of course, using your residual income to not only one, fund the life insurance policy, but two, to build the cash value of said life insurance policy. So I am completely aware that people may not have as much residual income as the next man. So, however, you are able to free up extra money to, invest in the future you, then I suggest that you would do that. I am also in the process of making sure that I free up more residual income as well. So don't think I'm trying to, preach to you about some stuff that I'm not doing. I'm actively in the struggle too. So, like I said, you want to use residual income to help fund a life insurance policy. That way, it helps your cash value grow. The more that you're able to put into your policy and your cash value, the faster it grows. And of course, each of those cash value life insurance policies come with their own specific interest rate for said cash value that compounds once a year. So you're always going to be gaining some kind of percentage on said cash value every year, especially with the universal and the whole life policies. The IULs are a whole different monster on their own. Um, so, whichever method that you choose to go to, then of course you can do this. So, the reason why you want to become your own bank is because you want to go through the least amount of red tape as possible if you were to quote unquote need to borrow money from somewhere. So let's just say you implemented this plan for yourself. You've been funding your policy for a couple of years. You've been keeping track of the cash value. Cash value is looking nice. So let's just say an opportunity pops up. You need a couple $1,000, and you need it rather quickly. So you got two options at this point. You could either one, well, you got multiple options. I'm not just going to say two. So you could either go into your own checking and savings to do this, or you could go to a bank for a bank loan or whatever, Or you could give your folks a call and say, hey, um, I have XYZ amount in my cash value. I would like to get at least whatever amount that you need to get. And of course, they're going to send it to you in a check. It's not taxed or anything like that. And you could use it for basically whatever you want to use it for. You need some plumbing fix, you can use it for that. Need a car, cash car off the lot, you can use it for that. Sudden uh, dental or something like that, you could use it for that. Just whatever you want to use it for, like I said, you could use it for that. You in this way you won't have to spend money out of your pocket specifically for whatever it is that life has thrown your way. Or you could use it to kind of reimburse yourself the money that you spent out of your own pocket. And of course, your cash value over time will, of course, replenish itself as you pay the policy. A portion of the policy goes towards maintaining the policy at the current face value, on top of putting the rest into the cash value of said policy. If you don't believe in whole life policies or whatever, then there is still a strategy for you. However, I'm unaware of what it is, as I only deal specifically with doing it this way. So, um, another benefit for doing this, of course, let's just say you went the bank route, okay, and you borrowed money from them and you're unable to pay it back, then of course they're gonna, basically put you through the ringer, whatever they need to do in order to recoup this money. Maybe they, report this negatively on your credit report. There are systems beyond the credit bureaus that could potentially prevent you from getting checking and savings accounts or whatever it is that may be bank related as well, that aren't just out there advertised, because primarily they just don't want you to know about them, really. uh I mean, there's a lot of dire consequences that could go into, of course, borrowing money for the bank, and you're unable to pay it back. When you become your own bank and you're utilizing money out of your life insurance policy, however, you have two options. You either one, pay it back and replenish it, or you two, don't pay it back. And if something were to happen and your maker calls you to the upper room, they'll take the balance of said loan from the face value of the policy, and then at that point your family, your beneficiaries, will get the face value minus the amount that you borrow. Now, I'm not saying go crazy with this. Just like with everything else, you're going to need to have an air of responsibility and discipline when utilizing this. This isn't just, let me give $10, $20 and run up to the liquor store because I want to buy the biggest bottle of Hennessy and take it to the party, for my friends or whatever. That's not something that you want to do. Okay, you want to do this responsibly. You want to space this out. You don't always want to utilize this kind of thing as a plan A, because I don't want you to basically zero out your cash value and then you end up struggling at a later point in time to maintain the policy. Like, that's not the name of the game here. What we are attempting to do here, like I said, is passively build you up some money that you can utilize for relatively important matters, and not have to, you know, end up having to work a whole bunch of extra shifts just to get taxed on an overtime check, and you end up frustrated because you didn't make the money from the overtime check. Or you don't, I'm trying to prevent you it the best that I can in order to have to depend on a bank to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time at an interest rate that may not make sense to you at that point in time. Like there's another way that we could do this. I'm not going to say is a necessarily smarter way of doing things, but it is definitely a different way, a way that most people do not utilize right now, primarily because they don't know that this kind of thing exists. Like there are people in this world that have five, six figure cash value numbers on their life insurance policies. And of course, I mean, they're not millionaires. These are people who you are probably walking around complaining about the price of gas and milk and bread with on a daily basis. Like, this is something that is achievable by regular, ordinary, everyday nine to fivers. Like anybody, this is something that anybody can do. You just have to have the residual income to be able to do it. I know it kind of sounds like I'm negating myself, but again, like I said, it is possible. Like this is something that we all can do. You don't have to be 100,000 heir or a millionaire or 100 millionaire or a billionaire or nothing like that. Hell, you could probably work at um, McDonald's or something like that and still be able to do the same thing. Of course, like I said, I don't want you to bankrupt yourself funding this kind of thing. Do it responsibly. Use your residual income. The definition of residual income is extra income. Like I said, whatever you need to do to build this extra income, to utilize it for something that will pay off in the long run, do it. But in a nutshell, if we were all to become our own bank in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it would be an easier way for us to handle the curveballs that life throw at us. Like I said, I don't. Who wants to be stuck working hundreds of hours of overtime just to get taxed on the check, and then of course you got to do it all over again the next pay period, and you got to save it, and you got to do it again, and you got to do it again. And of course it takes time away from vital rest that you need, to restore your body, or it keeps you away from your family. Like I just want us to be able to take a smarter approach with money and the things that we could possibly do with money to make things just a little bit easier. Nothing's ever going to be smooth and puppy dogs and flowers and rainbows. But at least, we can have something going in the background that we know that, hey, like if I get in a pinch, I know that I could go here to get X amount of money to be able to do whatever it is that I need or want to do. Hell, I mean, with the video game system releases that came out, I preached on social media that, hey, you don't have to work no extra shifts. Just take it out to cash value, and boom, you got you a system basically without having to break a sweat. Now, I mean, we could go into the availability of the systems and everything like that, but that wasn't the point. The point was there is a way for us to be able to not have to work so hard to do things if we were putting the necessary things in place to help us at a future date. I know that you want right now money. I want right now money. Everybody wants right now money. I'm not saying don't have right now money, but what I am saying is just take the opportunity, look at what you got going now, ask yourself, what do I have going in the background that's building me basically money that I really just don't have to do too much to do? and doing the infinite banking, as most people call it, doing it this way is a way for you to build basically a savings account in the background passively. Doing things passively is the big rage at this point in time. So this is basically what this is. So if you have any questions, or you maybe want to just throw around some numbers to see what it would take for you to build this kind of thing, I'm always open. You can shoot me an email, or you can leave a comment to say, "Hey, I'm interested in this. Can you reach out to me? Send me a message any way that you can." But this is definitely something that more people, I feel, should look into, to just have it in your back pocket. Like, this is gonna be the Swiss Army knife of all Swiss Army knives as far as your finances are concerned. Like a popular blogger once said before I stopped watching them, all of this is just advice. You're still gonna do whatever it is that you want to do. So that concludes this episode of Talk to Me Tuesday. Again, please give me a like and a share. I'm trying to get found in the algorithms, people. I'm trying to be able to help more people learn about things like this again. So make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the YouTube channel. It's basically information for all ages, of all interest levels, of people who are interested in these kinds of topics. You might not be interested today, but you're going to be interested at some point. And I just want these videos to be out there for the people to share and digest at will. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.